Hello, everyone. We are 1/5 of the way there. It's day 20 of 100 days of code with Leon Andersen. Leon, how are you doing?
I am exhausted, but I'm full of joy that I had at least a few minutes to look into DOMs again, and yeah, I uh, I think the only thing I learned today was that I can select elements by ID or select an individual element by ID, select elements by tag, and select elements by class. And then I can use all sorts of manipulation on those elements in JavaScript. For example, use a for loop and replace all of them, all of the elements I selected. For example, by tag, if I selected image tags multiple, then I can use the for loop and replace every source with a new source, in this case with the same source, but and I can do that as far as I know. I have to define the elements first, so I have to do like const element equals document dot get element ID, and then or get elements by class name. And if I oh yeah, and they are similar to an array in some ways, but you can't really use any functions. You can use some of the methods in there, for example, like the length method and stuff like that. And you can access individual elements in a similar way by putting the index after it. So if I, for example, if I have defined const equals element const element equals document dot get element by class name foo, then I can take it, then I can say yeah, exactly. Then I can say element of, or what is the best way to say when something is in brackets afterwards? Is it like off something? I think in functions it's off. It's like, or do you say element in bracket 0, or do you say element of 0, or element?
You could say the first element, for example.
And if I have a function where I have multiple parameters, do I say then function?
We usually say you invoke the function with, or you say you apply the arguments.
And if you just want to describe like a line of code, do you describe the whole?
So let's say we have the function like const sum equals to a plus b, and I have this line like console log sum, maybe sum like 1 and 41, so we get 42 as mean number and 41 like this. Then you could say, hey, I'm calling console log with two arguments. One is a string and one is sum, and sum is applied to 1 and 41. That would be way too tall. But you can
Okay.
call functions, you can execute functions, you can apply arguments. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine to be able to describe code like that. However, when I want to describe like the how I wrote something, like the syntax, that's
So you would say,
I guess
okay, sum is a function that takes in two arguments and returns both arguments summed or like added, I guess, and it adds one argument to another.
yeah. For example, you you just said it returns a plus b, and for me it would be um, like it still wouldn't be clear, like, is it with an arrow function which has implicit return, or is it return a
That
plus
doesn't
b?
matter, right? Like in most
Yeah,
cases, it doesn't matter because it does the same. So we can write some like this, or we could write some like this: a b return a plus b. Right? If in case you want to be super descriptive, you could say const sum is an arrow function that takes an a b and implicitly returns a plus b. But you can be that specific if it matters. But in general, this level of specificity does not matter.
yeah. Like, it only matters to me when I'm insecure about how the exact syntax is. Like, what kind of brackets, is there a semicolon? Do I use return or do I not use return? Do I use like, when there are some of these questions left or are coming up during the code, when there are some little insecurities about, like, is this the exact right format or not? So just for those cases, it
So what you
sometimes.
can always do in case you're like unsure about how you want to do it, um, you can just paste the code into ChatGPT and be like, hey, describe this to me in brief and succinct technical terms.
Yeah, I guess it's I just have to start describing code more in those terms as you're doing, because so far if I remember correctly, I very often said like const sum equals in brackets a comma b, like that. That's how I described code sometimes before, and I
And
maybe
that's
did a lot.
fine too. Like, I think it's something that you can relax about and just let time handle this for you because there's like you will naturally recognize what is easier to understand and what is easy and precise to say. So just by having a lot of exposure to this, it'll just naturally settle in.
Yes, yes. But I'm definitely going to set um, my filters to be a bit more aware of how you describe code.
Yes.
That's to consciously notice it.
Well, we're gonna
Yeah,
have at least 80 more days together, and we're gonna
yeah,
describe a lot more code.
yes. Looking forward. And yeah, basically, I think. Oh yeah, I also looked up what's the difference between console.log document and console.dir document. And the difference is that in console.log, you have like it's like a um, collapsed structure, and you have to open all the triangle menu thingies to look into the into what's inside. And with console.dir, it's a bit more structured, and as far as I know, it's not. It's like all. It's not collapsed. You can scroll through it, something like that. It's a little bit more detailed, something along those lines. Is what he says. I don't know if that's too important, but it depends on the debugging, and it depends on your debugging needs. That's what it says. It said.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that I can learn because I literally never use console.deal, but it sounds like it's useful in some cases. So definitely gonna look into it more.
Nice. Yeah. So I guess from my side, that's already it. Wait, I think there was one thing. About the DOMs. No, I think that's it. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, it looks like console.deal. So I've just asked ChatGPT in the background. It's only doing this for DOM nodes. So apparently it's especially useful if you knock out DOM stuff, which you will rarely do when you do JavaScript later. That's maybe also why I've not much, why I cannot help you much with this one. Sorry. But yeah,
Sorry.
it's a great session again. Just some little details picked up here and there. We talked a little bit about how you can describe code. And what does your schedule look like? When do you think you're gonna get like a multiple hour session in again?
I hope tomorrow I have to get some stuff in my apartment fixed, which took some time today as well, but maybe I can get it done. And tomorrow weekend I have at least uh, 6 more hours left. I mean, I have um, some projects from work that I have to spend some time on, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be tomorrow that I have more. That I have finally a long session again.
Nice. But even if not, as long as you keep the habit alive, that's all that's needed. So thank you everyone who's watching. Remember to code every day, get a little bit better every day, learn something new every day, have your brain deal with code every day so that your brain gets used to that you now speak the language of computers or you're learning the language of computers. And as you get better with the language of computers, it will also feel more natural to just talk about it, think about it. It's also something that a lot of developers do. Like sometimes they code and then they get up and they think about the problem and or they take a walk and when they come back, they suddenly thought of a solution. Sometimes the subconscious mind does this for you and it's solving the problem for you over time. So thank you everyone for tuning in. This was day 20 of the Code Call with
Leon Andersen and my mentor.
Alice Mill from 10x Dev. See you everyone.